Have you ever felt like no matter how much you compare, how perfect you try to be, somebody still finds a way to criticize you? And instead of brushing it off, you start to think, maybe they're right. Maybe I didn't do enough. Maybe I should have done better. But let me tell you something. You are not God. You're human. And the lie of perfectionist has been keeping you trapped. And the lie of perfectionism has been keeping you trapped. Giving, believing that if you believing that if you could just do everything flawless, you could finally escape judgment. Today, we're breaking that wide open. Welcome back to the Powerfully You podcast. I'm your host, Sharitha, and I help emotionally wounded, spiritually curious people heal from trauma and reclaim their voice so that you can stop people pleasing, start living your truth, and turn your pain into power. Today's episode is about something I wrestle with personally, that heavy, unspoken pressure to know it all, get it right every time, and be perfect so that nobody can tear me down. But perfectionism isn't protection, it's a prison. And learning to be fully human, messy, and imperfect is where real freedom begins. The false God complex. Some of us were raised to believe we had to be all knowing. If we made a mistake, we were told you should have known better. If we didn't participate, someone needed if we didn't anticipate somebody's needs, we were made to feel guilty. It's like people expected us to play God, always prepared, never wrong, never lacking. That conditioning runs deep. And now, when criticism comes, we don't just hear the words, we hear confirmation of that old lie. I'm not enough. I failed. I should have been perfect. But the truth is, you were never meant to be God. You were meant to be human. And humans are not all knowing. Human, humans make mistakes. Humans miss things. That's not a flaw, that's our design. Criticism as a trigger. Here's where it gets tricky. Perfectionism convinces you that if you just polish yourself enough, nobody can criticize you. But reality proves different. Even when you were prepared, someone still has something to say. And that's when the defensiveness kicks in. You think, if I had researched more, they wouldn't have said that. If I had explained better, they wouldn't misunderstand me. If I was smarter, stronger, more polished, they wouldn't judge me. But here's the deep truth: criticism is inevitable. It's not proof of failure, it's proof you're visible. From defensiveness to discernment, that changes the game. What changes the game is discernment, not criticism. What changes the game is discernment. Not all criticism is the same. Some criticism is projection, rooted in jealousy, insecurity, or pettiness. Some criticism holds true, rooted in clarity, honesty, or love. And your reaction becomes your compass. If you hear it and it cuts deep, make if you hear it and it cuts deep, make you emotional and feels like a jab more than wisdom, is likely projection. If you hear it and you pause, reflect, and consider, it's likely truth. This shift frees you. You don't need to be perfect to avoid criticism. You need to be discerning to know what criticism you need to be discerning to know what criticism to take in and what to release. Devil's advocate. Now, I know somebody might be thinking, if I don't aim for perfection, won't I just be lazy or careless? Isn't trying to be your best a good thing? Here's my response: striving for excellence is healthy, but perfectionism is toxic. Excellence says, do your best with what you know. Perfectionism says, if you don't know it all, you're worthless. See the difference? One builds you up, the other tears you down. You deserve to stop confusing self worth with flawless performance. Reflective moment. Take a deep breath with me here. Place your hand on your heart if you can, and I want you to ask yourself, where in my life am I still trying to play God? Trying to be all knowing, always ready, never wrong. How does my body react when somebody criticizes me? Do I feel defensive, ashamed, or reflective? If I gave myself full permission to be human, not perfect, just human, what pressures would finally lift off my shoulders? Sit with those questions. Write them down later. Let your answers speak honestly. Final soul truth. Perfectionism is a lie that you have to be God to be worthy. But the truth is, you're already worthy because you're human. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to predict every mistake. You don't have to be flawless to be enough. You are powerful not because you're perfect, but because you're real. And no critic, no judgment, no protection can take that truth away from you. Thank you for sharing this piece. Thank you for sharing this space with me. If this episode reminds you that you don't have to be perfect to be powerful, hold on to that truth. You are not God, you are human, and that's more than enough. Keep trusting your guides. Keep choosing authenticity over armor. And remember, perfection isn't the goal, presence is. And if this episode moves you, take a moment to like, subscribe, or share with someone else who needs to hear it. Until next time, stay true, stay tender, and stay powerfully you.